What up, Joe?
Not a whole lot, man. Just chilling, working out a lot, staying busy. You know how it goes.
Overtime, putting in this OT. Do you
Yeah,
get paid
man.
for it?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure. I mean, because
Uh,
I don't get paid for
really,
OT. I'm exempt, so I don't get paid for OT.
really. I didn't even know that was a lot. Is it because like your salary and not hourly, or how's that work?
That's what being exempt is. You're not paid for
Yeah,
overtime. It's
for
just like a
sure.
certain. So you'll get to a certain point where, based on the work that you do, you become non-hourly.
Yeah. So but it
Yeah.
is nice because you're just getting the same increment of money every time. You don't have to worry about like, oh, this paycheck's gonna be short.
For sure. So I mean, you work until the job is done. So there may be times where I may have to work in longer hours, and something I may be working shorter.
Right? I like that better, honestly. You're working to finish the job and not to punch the clock. You know what I mean?
That part.
Yeah. Bro, I don't even know because it's been a minute. I mean, obviously we got to talk about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Congrats to Stafford, baby,
Yeah. I mean, congrats to all them guys, man.
and Donald.
Odell, Donald, Cooper Cup.
Dude, seeing him like emotional after that was so cool. Like Donald, like that like after interview, like he was just like so happy. I like that was
Yeah.
so cool for him.
Yeah. I do feel like he definitely should have won the MVP. Um, but
Me
I
too.
mean, shout out to Cooper Cup. I mean, he did his thing, and I mean, it was a good game, but I think we talked about how it was going to come down to that between that O line and that D line, and who was going to be able to kind
Hmm.
of win that battle in that second half. They just completely, I mean, actually, like midway through that second quarter, from then on, they just completely dominated.
Correct. Yeah, man. It was bad. And the Bengals D line actually did pretty good because they got
They
after
did,
Stafford. But
they
yeah,
did.
it was the Aaron Donald show in the second half.
He just went nuts, bro. And I honestly believe had Odell not got injured, that game would have turned into a blowout.
It could have, yeah, man, because he was balling. Like that looked like
He was
Odell of
going
old.
off.
And
Yeah, he was going off.
I'm very obviously it's unfortunate, but I'm just so glad for him he got to catch that touchdown because it's like you contributed, man. It's not like he
Yeah,
didn't do anything, like so
right.
it's like that's awesome. Oh, that's good. I don't know, man. That's I think Aaron Donald should just fucking be like, I'm done. Like you just like what else does he have to
Ain't
prove,
nothing
man?
else true. I
Like
mean, the only
it's
other thing he could do is probably try to go and win like an MVP, but it's so fucking difficult
yeah, it's
being a
not.
defensive player. Um,
Yeah.
that it's so fucking difficult. That's really the only thing that he can honestly do. But
Is he like cemented as one of the greatest defensive players of all
I think
time?
you have to put him. I mean, he's the fact when you start to talk about him in the same sentence as Lawrence
LT.
Taylor,
Yeah.
then I mean, it's almost kind of like that. And he's did it in the span of 8 seasons.
And everyone compares those two, which is interesting because Lawrence Taylor was like a linebacker that mainly lined up as like an end, right? Like he
Yeah,
rushed
he
a
like
lot.
he lined up on the end. So
I mean,
for
Donald's doing
Donald
it
to
from the
have
middle.
right, like that's the thing that I think people are completely missing. Is like he's not coming off the edge on. He's coming through the middle where it's most of the traffic and still wrecking havoc, bro.
Exactly. Yo, like, did you see him just flexing with the shirt off on that?
Bro, he was stuck. And then somebody was like, "How are you that big of a person and just shredded? He
Dude,
damn near 300 pounds and got 10% body fat, bro."
right? And I looked it up and he's my height. I was like, that's pathetic. I need to get in the gym like right now. Like, that is crazy.
You and I both,
I didn't realize that like we'd be eye to eye if I like stared at him. It would
right?
just be like,
Eye
wow,
to
so you're not
eye.
that
He just
tall. You're
over here
just,
like, woof, woof,
yeah.
woof, woof. Like,
Oh
okay,
man. He's ripped up, bro. Like
that's
that
a
is just
that is a big, strong, just crazy athletic dude, bro.
yeah. I mean, that last drive, like even I think, obviously the almost sack on Burrow that ended it was great, but the play before that when he had to like reach out and grab
And
fucking what's his name? I forget.
oh, you talking about mixing?
Yeah, he grabbed Mixon and just pulled him back on that 3rd and 1.
Like
Like
it
that
was
was
just insane.
crazy.
I mean, you're literally holding the offensive lineman
Yep.
off of you, so you that way you can grab and pull this guy back. And he's
Yeah.
going. I mean, you're assuming he's going probably kind of go full speed so he can get to that yard.
Right.
But that's and to pull a fucking human moving forward back.
He just held him because like he wasn't technically down, because he was on the ground. So he just like held him for
That's
a minute.
in
That was
like
funny.
imagine how much the strength that you have to have for that. It's
Yeah,
it's
dude.
crazy, bro. I
Good
mean, and
for
then
him.
that I mean, we gotta talk about that fucking no look, Pat. Like
Yeah. That last drive was nuts, man.
dog, that you knew where he was going with the ball. They didn't stop him. Shout out to McVay with just coming up with like innovative ways to get Cup the ball, like lining him up in different places, different formations, so that way the defense can really kind of hone in on him, and moving them some.
Mhm.
But that damn no look pass was just, and the crazy thing was, it wasn't that he was trying to be flashy. He needed to do it
Right. That
to
video
kind of
you sent
pull.
me was awesome. Like the breakdown of it. I was like,
It
that's
was
big.
insane, bro.
Yeah.
Like to be able to pull Bell in
Mm-hmm.
and to just throw it
Yeah. It's
at
all
the
about the
spot that he
eyes.
was able it would and to be spot on and in stride. Fucking insane.
That was nuts, man. That was like the play of that drive for sure. You
Oh,
know,
hands down.
it was,
Hands
and they
down.
were saying it on the TV, and it was true, man. It was like at that point, for some, Odell went down, and like all the other receivers just didn't seem like they were able to get open. So like that last drive, it was just like, all right, Cup and Stafford are just like going
That's
back and
it.
forth, just like willing this team down the field for a touchdown. Like that was nuts. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
So yeah, it was a good game. What did you so the question is kind of going into next year, do any either one of those teams make it back?
Yeah.
Let's say they get Donald back. I don't know what's going to happen with the rest of that crew, but let's say they get Donald back. Do
Mhm.
either the Bengals or Rams
Right.
make it back?
Yeah, it's tough for the Rams because I feel like they've the last like maybe since 2018, they've gone like the route of just like shorter, like they're getting all these studs, but they're like just short year to year contracts. You know what I mean? Like they
Mm-hmm.
kind of like selling out their future to kind of like have this crazy team right now, and it's worked out for them. But like, I don't know how many of those guys are going to resign. Like if that whole team comes back, like or most of it, yeah. I mean, the Rams are very talented, and like
Right.
now Stafford's got playoff experience. Like he's got a Super Bowl under his belt. I think they definitely could. I think the Bengals could in the future, but I don't think they will next year. I don't know. I think like this was one of those like LeBron taking the Cavs against the Spurs in '07 type things. Like it doesn't, he's not like crewed up enough yet, but like that was
I don't know. I would put up a little bit more faith in the Bengals
really,
because this is why they probably have the most skilled players in the NFL.
yeah, you're not wrong, bro. I mean, that offense is so explosive. Just blow the
And
top
really
off.
the only thing that there's only two areas where they really need to improve upon. They gotta figure out that offensive line
Mm-hmm.
and then improve their secondary. If
Mm-hmm.
they can get those two things figured out,
Yeah.
they're gonna be, because everything else is there. Your D line and your linebacking core is crazy. You got
Mm-hmm.
a hell of a fucking quarterback and young, and then
Three good receivers.
your skill positions are they're top notch. I mean, you probably hoping for a little bit more out of Mixon, but he gives you enough to
Yeah,
be
exactly.
respectable. So I am tempted to say that I would maybe put a little bit more on the Bengals than I would the Rams, because I don't know. I mean, granted, the Rams brought all these guys, but I don't. They're not bringing them all back. Odell's not probably coming back, but Robert Woods is going to be back in the fold, so that'll kind of shore that up. I don't know what's going to happen with Von Miller. Eric Weddle, I think, is going to retire.
Yeah, good for him too. Shout out to
Yeah,
Eric
good
Weddle.
for him too. But I put more faith in the Bengals than I do the Rams at this point.
I guess that makes sense because kind of like my first point, like I don't know what their contract situations look like right now. Like, yeah, they might be
Yeah,
like a different team next year. So I that would be cool to see like the Bengals, like the Cincinnati Bengals, if they became like a perennial, like, like out of nowhere,
yeah.
you know. Hmm.
Joe Burr.
He's a
Can we talk
beast, man.
about can we talk about Stafford watching that photographer fall off the stage and just looking and walking away though?
Stafford's a
But,
savage, bro.
like, I mean, granted, he was drunk and he was like, I don't want no parts of that.
Yeah.
But I think they did reach out and said that he was gonna pay for their medical bills and stuff like that. So that was cool. But that shit was hilarious. He just looked at his wife was like, oh my God.
Yeah. He's like, eh.
He looked like
His speech was so funny.
it was hilarious, bro.
Man, did you see Tom Brady tweeted at him like mixing
Like
water?
mixed in water, man. And then, I mean, it's just awesome too that all three of those guys got to go to Disneyland with their kids, with Cub, Stafford, and Donald. And
Mhm.
had that whole experience too. So overall, just a really cool thing. What you think about the halftime show?
Bro, that was so cool, man. It was like I mean, and 50 is like one of my all-time like favorites. So I was like, let's go. Granted, he looked a little like the power money's getting to him a little bit, but he's
Like
eating
he
good over
didn't look
there.
all that. Like y'all gotta calm down. 50
No, he's
didn't look
not
all
like
that
he looked
bad.
good, but it was just
He
the
looked chunky.
I get it was from the
He was
music
just
video, but like I didn't think the upside down angle was a good
no.
like
It probably
angle,
didn't
you
help him
know?
though, because he probably looked bigger than probably what he honestly is.
Exactly, because he got
But that
down. I was
just
like, all right, there's 50.
yeah, like I think he fine. And then
God, I love 50.
it was just I love the whole entire performance.
Yeah, it was great.
And just some of the symbolism that was in there. Kendrick is my guy,
Mm-hmm.
and that just kind of he just went crazy. I just love the whole entire thing. So I have to tell you this joke. I found this on Twitter. Somebody said, "So are you familiar with Meek Mill's Dreams and Nightmares?"
Yeah.
Somebody said that Eminem's "Lose Yourself" is the white version of Dreams and Nightmares. Is that true?
Yeah, that's kind of like, that's like a fucking anthem for Eminem fans, like that's like,
Listen, the way black people go hard for Dreams and Nightmares, and white people go that hard for "Lose Yourself."
dude, that's so funny you said that because my boy and two of my boys I used to live with went to like the MGM like sports lounge to watch the game or something like that, and it's just like huge TVs in like the casino,
Yeah.
and it's all these people, and he was dying. He was like in the back, and he sent me a Snapchat of like the front row, and it was just like these like white like hick dudes, and like when that came on, they're just going nuts, like, it's like oh, I was dying. That's so funny, bro.
My goodness, bro.
They do get hype for that shit. But did you see any of the Twitter videos of like, oh, I was dying. It was like people watching the game with like their grandparents, like, and just like videotaping them during the halftime show. They're just watching
and just
it, like,
loving it.
Yeah, it was just like, what the heck, man? That's so funny. It was such a good like mix up than it usually was. Like they brought back like fucking California Love and all that shit. Was like just classic Dre, and
it was great stuff. And I mean, that was the very first time in an NFL's history that they've had a hip hop leading the being the halftime show. It was the very first time in NFL history for that to happen. So for that to happen, for Snoop to be on there crip walking, and for Dre to be on there talking about fuck the police, like you're just having these iconic moments. And I don't know if people were catching some of that symbolism that was going on there, but it was awesome. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
What was your favorite out of all of them? Was it Kendrick?
No. I think in that moment, California Love just
it was cool.
Anytime that song come on, it's just such a Cali and iconic vibe that you gotta
Yeah, that was cool. I love that song, bro. 50 was my favorite though. I'm such a big 50 dude. I was like, let's go. I was suspecting because Dre and Eminem, like Tim and 50, those three are like the three horsemen. So I was like, I don't know, but it was a great one. That's probably my favorite one I've ever seen, to be honest with you. So
really,
yeah.
I don't know.
Prince was good.
Prince is just iconic. MJ is just iconic. I mean, even like other people that have went, like I think that mashup with like Bruno Mars, Beyonce, and Coldplay. I think that was a really good show. Who else? I thought Katy Perry did a really good show when she went.
Yeah, man. Did we see a Madonna one recently? Wasn't there a Madonna one in like the mid 2010s?
I'm not sure that there was a Madonna one.
I heard they don't get paid to do it.
They don't. Okay. They don't get paid. Well, the reason why they go to Vegas is because there's a Super Bowl effect. So they perform at the Super Bowl. That's the largest venue that you can ever perform as an artist, right? Yeah. What happens is they're streaming, their purchases of their music and everything. It flies. Like you can probably even still look on your Apple thing or wherever your Android music or whatever, and you can see, and like all their music is trending. Yeah, like you literally look the day after California Love and Mary J. Blige, No Drama, and Kendrick and Lose Yourself, all these Gin and Juice, all it's top 20 within the billboards, and it's all just from the Super Bowl.
That makes sense. Yeah, biggest platform you can really have, right?
Exactly. So people always complain about why they're not getting paid. They don't need to get paid because it's a residual effect from it.
Yeah. You're right, man.
And it's probably the shortest performance that they're gonna do, and probably get the biggest payout from it because
like 15 minutes.
Literally, right? but then all you're doing is and you're doing that, and then everything just shoots up. It's like a 400% return, or even probably more than that.
God damn, man.
For a snippet, because you think about it, they all probably did maybe what a 2 to 3 minute. Outside of maybe Snoop and Dre, the rest of them only did maybe like a 2 to 3 minute thing.
Exactly. I mean, 50 was like a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I'm out.
I did what listen. He did with he probably did his most iconic song and left it at that.
For sure, bro. Dude, I just watched I wish I was like 15 years older sometimes, bro. Like I was looking at like the MTV like Spring Break, like 2003. You ever see that? It was like G Unit was like on the beach.
Oh yeah.
I was like, dude, this would be like I would just be in my glory, like being on the beach, like 50, like just like a beach party. You know what I mean? Like
I remember we went to Panama, and I don't know if I don't know who was there, but Lil Wayne was there. Jumping crazy.
That's awesome.
It's insane.
Wayne, man, he's another GOAT that no one talks about.
Yeah,
I'm a big Wayne fan.
Slept on. He's been slept on lately, but
yeah, but he puts out so much work. Like he and Eminem are like the same person to me. Like almost like if you watch, they're just like addicted to doing it. Like they just sit around all day and rap. Yeah. Like I don't think Wayne even writes. He just like gets on the mic and starts spitting.
What they say, the moment that you hear that lighter go off, you know it's about to go down.
Every song.
Exactly. You hear that and you know it's about to be fire, bro. It's about to be fire.
Oh my god, gotta love Wayne, bro. Gotta love Wayne. His analogies are just like you'll be like, where did he come up with that shit, bro? You know,
Wayne is by far probably one of the best as far as just like you said, his analogies, his wordplay.
Mm-hmm. He's a genius.
How he's able to stack things within his words. It's
insane.
It really is insane. It's insane. I mean, that whole Gangsta Grills mashup with the whole thing with DJ Drama, like it. That whole when he was coming through and he had all those mixtapes in like 2007, 2008, like he was going crazy.
Like No Ceilings and shit. And then even now though, like I love how he'll do like the dedication mixtapes if you ever listen to those, and he'll just take like the top songs of like the last couple years and he just murders them. Like he did like Bank Account on like his last dedication or dedication 4, and I was like, man, if I was 21 listening to this, I'd be like, this is like so much better than what the fuck I put out. Like this is crazy. Like he just murders it, man. Him and Eminem though, because I've heard him on Wayne's podcast or his radio show, and like they're very similar in that way. It's funny. Like they're just like word geniuses. You know what I mean? Like they do shit with rap that like I haven't heard like other people do. Yeah. It's crazy.
The only thing that bothers me with Eminem is that his albums are trash.
Yeah, I'm with you. At least recently, his old ones were good. But
some of his newer stuff, but his albums have been trash. And and it's like, but the moment that he gets on somebody else's song and he's a feature on it, and he bodies that shit, and you're like, where is this for your own fucking album, right, bro?
Well, that's a whole other thing, right? Like your ability to rap, and then like your creativity to like create your own, hook, whole song, all that stuff. That's, it's crazy. I totally agree with you. Like listen to him on all of 50's early shit, like Patiently Waiting. Have you heard like M just like murders it? Like man, he goes nuts in that. And you're like,
and you pull up his album, you're like,
yeah, I'm not into his music as much as there's a couple albums I like, but I'm not into the corny like My Name Is and all that crazy shit. Like I don't know, it just doesn't do anything for me.
No.
Hey, Lose Yourself is a good song though. I haven't listened to that in like 10 years, and that came out. I was like, all right. That's one of those songs like I don't think I'll ever listen to in my life again. Like I've just heard it so much growing up. White Boy from Livonia.
Listen, it is they said it on Twitter. It is the white version of Dreams and Nightmares.
It really is,
people
bro.
Go spaz on Dreams and Nightmares. They between that and First Day Out with T Grizzly, like those two things, that is the white version of that. It's okay.
Does T Grizzly still do music? I haven't really heard much from him.
He still does some music. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
we gotta talk about this trade in the NBA.
Yeah, bro, we got to get through. We didn't even go through the deadline or anything yet. So, what are you talking about?
I mean, I feel like we have to talk about this biggest thing on there with Harden and Simmons trade.
And so, what do you want to do? Just like who you think the winner is?
We can talk about who we think the winner is. I'm good with that. I don't know how we're gonna fare on this. I think we may come out on opposite sides, but we'll see. What do you think?
You
Alex, go
know,
first.
I think the Nets won it, if assuming Ben's formidable, like, and he's cool, like, and to play, and it's like he hasn't, like, dropped off, which I don't think he has. But if they're all healthy, I would say if Kyrie ran the point, and then you put Ben in like the dunker spot, like the 4, KD at the 3, and then they got Seth Curry too, right? So, like, I mean, that's wow, that looks beautiful on paper to me. And I would just say, I try to develop Ben as far as like his mid range, his 3-point, but he can just sit and just be like a swing 4 kind of, just be like an athletic, like, point forward where he's not taking the ball up the court like Kyrie do that, but in the half court, you can get him the ball anywhere, in the key or whatever, and he can just make plays, So and then obviously KD doesn't need the ball to score. He can drop 30 doing absolutely just standing around, Seth will just make open threes when he's open. Kyrie will do his thing. I think if they're healthy, and think about the defense there. I mean, like, I don't know who they're going to run at the 5, even if it's Blake. Like, Ben Simmons is a phenomenal defender, bro. I give him shit, like, on offense, but, like, phenomenal defender. KD, I know he can be because I saw it in Golden State. Yeah, I think they'd be a good all-around team. I think if they were healthy, they have a chance to make a run. What about you?
I'm surprised. I thought you'd have said the Sixers. I'm in agreement. It's the Nets for me. They got what, 3 starters out of the deal.
Exactly.
Right? You
so
need
many
a big
assets.
Body. You got a big body and a hell of a fucking rebounder in Drummond.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
right. And they were lacking. That was something that they were severely lacking, was rebounding.
Mm-hmm.
You got a defender. You got probably one of the best defenders in the fucking league, which, like you said, they needed that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to disagree with the fact that, like, you let Kyrie bring up the ball. No, you let Ben Simmons bring up the ball. Kyrie is not really a point guard. He's a 2 guard in a point guard's body. Okay. So you let Ben initiate the offense and let him give the ball to Kyrie and KD in their spaces and let them work.
Okay,
right?
I like that.
And then that way it's Drummond giving the ball, they get rebounds, you get to the Ben. Ben in the open court, he's special in the open court, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's damn near impossible to kind of stop. And then you add in the fact that you got Seth Curry that can shoot. And as you mentioned, like, KD can go on any fucking team and go average 30. And you, like,
on like 20 touches.
Right? So it doesn't matter where you put
Crazy.
KD, he can go and put up 30 and it's nothing.
Yeah.
So I know people are like, oh, it's the Sixers, but I feel like they've lost more than what they gained. Now I know, Harden is, a top-notch player, and he's definitely going to help. He's definitely going to help Joel. But what you gave the Nets, I think, is much more. Not to mention, it's looking there. It sounds like there's a lot of noise, because even Adam Silver just mentioned around the fact that how the New York City mandate for the vaccine does not make sense. He came out and said that, because I don't know if you heard this or not. So with that New York City mandate, it allows for visiting players that have not been vaccinated to play. It just does not allow for home team players to do that.
That's ridiculous. I did not know that.
Does not make sense at all. So I think now that Adam Silver has come out and said that, I think there may be a push, and there's already been states that are kind of pushing back on it.
Yeah, I think there is going to be. I think it'll switch here
soon. I'm honestly believe that before the season ends, that it'll be changed and Kyrie will be able to play both home and away games.
Yeah. So well, to be honest with you, I think that the pandemic in general seems like they're starting to just like ease up on it. In the next 6 months, we're gonna, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna.
It's starting to definitely fall off as far as just the number of the rate of positive rate percentages and stuff like that. So that's definitely falling off. You have schools that are like pulling off from the mask mandate and just kind of leaving it up to people that want to do that. So I think there's starting to be a bit of a shift as far as like how people are reacting to it. And so I honestly think that before the season ends,
I agree with you.
Probably be lifted.
I agree. It'll be interesting. I don't hate the trade for Philly, though. I don't think it's like horrible. Obviously, Ben Simmons was like not even an asset. He wasn't playing for you. So you got, that off your, team, and it was a distraction. So that's good. And Drummond's a solid player, but I mean, you got James Harden, so it's
Yeah.
the Seth Curry thing. Honestly, like I love that player, man. Like I love Seth. Like he's such a big asset to me. Like I would love him if I had him on my team.
Yeah. And you
You know?
think about it. So now you got shooting and like deadly shooting. The dude can
Yeah.
like for 40 something plus percent from the 3-point line.
Him,
Now
Kyrie,
you
KD, Harris, like they're gonna
right.
have
So
shooters.
they're not sure if Joe Harris has come back, but if he does come back, then you also got Patty Mills. Cam Thomas is fucking developing. I don't know if you saw that
He
game against the
is.
Knicks, but dude
Yeah.
is coming along. So it's not like you're gonna have much of a drop off when Kyrie may go out the game or whatever, right? Like you're bringing in him and he can go and get a bucket.
Yeah.
And then you still got LaMarcus Aldridge coming off the bench. You got Claxton, like Blake, can come in and spot minutes and just give you some good things. So that's why I just honestly feel like that the Nets team is just they're deeper, and they gotta come together and be cohesive. But I honestly feel like with KD kind of leading that, I think they'll be able to do it.
You think they're win it all?
I don't know.
Are they like top 3 contenders, assuming KD comes back healthy? Because I'd have them as like probably like I don't know. Chemistry is a big thing, but like skill wise, I'd almost say they should win the East if they are healthy.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that Milwaukee is tough and Philly's gonna be tough. They're both gonna be tough.
Yeah.
But I would say that they're probably my favorites as far as coming out of the East. Because the thing that I'm with Milwaukee that I just do not trust Chris Middleton.
Oh, really?
I don't. He has these ebbs and flows where it's just like the other day he had a game where he was 6 for 20.
Mm-hmm. He is one of those guys. Yeah.
Right. And it's like he doesn't just always perform at the level that you think as far as like an all-star, and it's just these ebbs and flows in this game, and there's just a lack of consistency that I feel like he brings, right? So yeah.
But he has really good games too. Honestly, like him and Booker remind me a lot of each other. Like I feel like you'll look at Book some games and it's like 12 points, like you said, like 6 for 18. I'm like, what the fuck was he doing tonight? And then other games, I'm like, he is the future of this fucking league. You know what I mean? I don't never say that for Middleton, but Middleton, like, he'll ball, bro. He can get his own bucket. Obviously, he's a great set shooter. He's a good defender for his like length and his, like I like him, but I do know what you mean. He's one of those dudes that kind of like you could get fucking 11 out of him tonight and just like a horrible.
Yeah. And it's just, so I don't know. I'm not a big, I don't know if I like it, but I do like the fact that they picked up Serge Ibaka.
Who did the
Bucks?
That
was a good move. Yeah, the Bucks picked up Serge and they traded DiVincenzo to the Kings, I think. So I like that pickup. It looked like Portland has committed to being in a rebuild while sending off McCollum over to the Pelicans.
Yeah, that's another one we got to talk about, man. Is Dame like all but gone, or you think they're like trying to do it like, all right, Dame, we've cleaned the board. Like, tell us who you want. We're gonna go after him in the offseason.
So if you're Dame, who do you want?
If I'm Dame, I'm getting out of there, bro. I just don't think. And I know he loves the city of Portland, but like at this point, it's you have to realize like what LeBron did was for a reason, bro. Like you can't if you're in a small market like that, it's very hard to attract, a top tier player to come play with you, and it's almost like there's nothing you can do,
So this is what I would do. If I'm the Lakers going into free agency this year,
I like that.
I am trading Ben Simmons. Or sorry, not Ben Simmons, Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm getting rid of. I will trade Anthony Davis for Damian Lillard.
Yeah,
and then I would do my best to go and try and maybe get like Miles Turner.
Do you think they do that straight up? Like, I don't think they'd give up Lillard for Davis. Maybe they would because he's Anthony Davis, but it's like
the money matches up. I think
the injuries, man. I hate to say they drive me crazy because Anthony Davis cannot help if he's getting injured. You know what I mean? But it's just I look at it and I'm like, that is such a liability, man. Like he's injured so much.
Or maybe it's not Anthony Davis. Maybe it's Westbrook for Lillard. And then
Portland would do that. I think Portland would laugh at him, bro.
But at that point what do you do?
I don't know. I don't know what Portland's thinking. Again, like I said, is it like they're trying to show Dame like we're going to wipe the board and let you kind of decide what you want, or are they like blowing this all up and just like we're starting from scratch?
Because who do you go get?
I don't know.
Who do
I
you
don't know
go
who would
get?
go to Portland, you know?
Who do you? There's nothing there. No one wants to go to Portland. Who do you go get?
Yeah, not much there, bro.
Like there's, I don't know what it. So if I'm Dame, I'm like I gotta go. Maybe you go to New York and give up Julius Randle. I don't
Yeah.
know, but like he either he's gonna have to leave. He's gonna have to leave if they match it up. Anthony. If I'm the Lakers, I'm trading Anthony Davis. I
Yeah, I
really
am.
am. I am
I'm with you
trading
there.
Anthony Davis. I
I'm with
would.
you there.
This is what I would do. I would trade Anthony Davis to Indiana and go get Miles Turner, and I would get Malcolm Brogdon.
Yeah, I like that.
Have do a buyout with Russell Westbrook. Have Brogdon replace him because he's a much better shooter and just a player than Westbrook. We can just call it what it is, right? Now you have a solid defender in Turner, and the thing is that you really don't need much of like a big man. I think you would need another big name. It's just who though?
Another like
I don't know.
all-star to run with them.
Yeah, you need another all-star to kind of run with Brian. And I'm trying. I don't know who that would
This is
be.
my thing, man. Bron needs, and I don't know why this isn't a priority more, because all his teams seem to fucking lack shooting. And I'm like Bron is at his best if you give him a player on the wing that can just like knock down threes. Like he will just sit in the pocket anywhere on the half court and just like find them, feed them. Like when they come off back screens, whatever it is. And it's like, why does he never prioritize? I didn't understand Westbrook. Like, why did they not go for what's his name, Buddy Hield? Like, it was like that would have been perfect for LeBron.
That's
man.
Matter of fact. There you go. I got you. So you give up Davis and Malik Monk, or no, Taylor Horton Tucker.
Yeah.
Send both of them to Indiana. You get Miles Turner, Malcolm Brogdon, and Buddy Hield.
Yeah, that would be beautiful. I mean, that would be ideal for the Lakers. I just don't know.
Do you think that the LeBron is regretting picking up Westbrook and not picking up DeMar DeRozan?
Yeah, definitely.
That dude is fucking balling, bro.
I mean, DeMar DeRozan's doing what like everyone thinks like Westbrook ideally should do. You know what I mean? Like he's not like, well, DeMar is not like a great 3-point shooter, but everything else like he just slices and dices, and he's averaging what, like 27, 30 right now. Like he's going.
Well, he's put up 7 straight games of 35 points or more on better than 50% shooting in those games. Like he broke a record by fucking Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, wasn't he scoring like 35 plus for like a bunch of games? Yeah,
but Westbrook can't do that. He's never done that. That's never been Westbrook's game.
No.
But I would, if I'm the Lakers, that's the trade that I'm making. And then I find another
awesome.
I find somewhere, somehow, some way, I find another all-star. Maybe you find a way to get Dame in there, and then have Brogdon at the 2. You have Dame at the 1. I don't know.
God, Dame and LeBron would be amazing together, bro.
And then you add in Brogdon, you got Buddy Hield that can probably do it, and then you got Miles Turner at the center position. They would be.
Yeah,
I just came up with the trade. You're welcome. If it happens, don't. I told you first. You're welcome.
That's right. Courtesy of Mo Nelson. That'd be nice for the Lakers. I don't see. Think about yourself as any other franchise. What is the benefit of taking on Russell Westbrook, man? Like, there's no, like, I would be like, hey, no, I'm sorry. There's no one like that I'm trading for this.
And the thing is that I think he's coming up and he has a player option.
Oh, it's probably so much money.
He is not about to, he is taking that fucking, it's like 40 something fucking $1 million. And you think he about to turn that down?
No, definitely not.
I'm good. Y'all can buy me out though.
Who started that mega contract with him? Was it the Thunder or was it the Rockets?
That's when it was with him when he came off that fucking maybe that MVP season or the one before that.
I never understood it, bro. And I felt like a hater back then. I'm like, no, like I love his intensity and I really respect Russ, but it's like oh man, dude. Even back then, like I just felt like, yeah, he's putting up these numbers and he's very fun to watch. But like when you watch him at the end of games, now he's just not good. I'm sorry. But like back then, even it was like, like his confidence is shot now. Like he's just like but back then when he was dropping fucking 28-point triple doubles, like consistently, it was like, he was just so erratic with the basketball. And like in crunch time is like, he would just do stuff. And I'd be like, you try to force the issue too much and not let the game organically flow. He looks like a jolt in the system. It's like, you're not moving smoothly. Fast. Yeah, you're right.
Too fast. He's just, He has all this speed and he doesn't know how to properly use it.
And Derrick Rose did. People always compare him to Derrick Rose. I'm like, yeah, but Rose was smooth with it, man.
He
Like,
absolutely knew pace.
yes,
And I think that's the biggest thing with the NBA is that the game moves so fast and Russ is trying to push that when it's like it's not about you moving fast. And that you hear NBA players, it's like you have to find where you need to slow down and find your pace, especially as a guard. You look at Chris Paul, he knows when to like speed things up,
right.
slow things down. Even in mid dribble coming down, like he will stop and have a player all on his back. You know what I mean? But it's just slowing things. Rush just doesn't have that.
No, not at all. And I'll do you one better as far as pace. Like Luka Doncic plays it like one of the slowest paces I've seen a guard play
but
at.
he gets to his spots.
Exactly. He knows exactly the timing and like the way that it's, people around him are going to move. Russ doesn't look like he reacts to how his defenders move. He's just got in his head like, all right, jab step, and I'm taking the fuck off to the right. You know what I mean? Like if I run into him, like that's what happens. It's like Russ, like you got to like, give what the D's take, take what they're giving you. It's I don't know, man. It's crazy to see how like it sounds like we're just beating up on the dude, but like the fall from like he was like considered a top 5 player like a couple years ago. You know what I mean? Now it's just like
coming up all these triple doubles that he's putting up and everything, but it's just not working out. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it's back to whatever we started it with. Like I don't know who would take that on. Like he's definitely going to take the player option. I assume he's going to be a Laker next year.
Oh, he's definitely going to take the player option. It's just like, or do the Lakers maybe just look to like
cut him, buy him out?
We got to buy you out. Like at this point, it's hurting us.
Yeah,
because what they say, AD gonna be out for 4 weeks. Coming off this All-Star thing, that's leading to the end of March. The season ends in April.
So, did you hear the rumor that like, who was the team? There was a team that was like willing to take Russ, but they wanted a first-round pick on top of it, and LA wouldn't do it. Who the fuck was it? I don't know, but I look at it and I'm like, if that's the truth, I'm like, LA should have fucking done that, dude. Anything to get Russ out of there. Like I know you're losing a first-round pick, but like, come on, man. Like that's just like for your books.
You just let him go back to like OKC.
Yeah. It was Houston. It was like Russ for John Wall, but Houston also wanted like a first-round pick. And like the Lakers, like we can't do that.
Oh yeah. I mean, it probably would have been a bit of more of at least John Wall knows how to play with pace, not a turnover machine.
No.
I mean, him and Russ are almost one and the same player. He doesn't turn the ball over at that same clip.
He's another one like Rose, dude. Like I feel so sad, John Wall. I'm like, dude, I loved watching you play, bro. So smooth, so athletic, and it's just like just got destroyed,
Yeah. So hopefully he can find a way back, but that could be a move, or maybe just let Russ go to fucking OKC. Like just end your career there, bro.
Ride it out.
Let them put a statue up there. You got an MVP. Congratulations. Thank you.
Triple-double machine. It's always the talk, like what that team could have been, like young Harden and KD, Russ. That's when Serge was like a top 3 power forward.
Bro, Ibaka. Then they have Jeff Green. That team was just crazy. Crazy good. So who at the half? Well, it's more than the halfway point right now, but at this All-Star break point right now. So who's your MVP?
I'll tell you, my rookie of the year is Cade as of right now.
Cade balling, bro.
He's looking good. I don't know. That's a good question. It's tough. There's been such a fluctuating, like this year, I feel like there's been so many injuries and but I don't know. I almost want to just like, and I don't even know. I haven't looked at I usually watch like the Kia race to the MVP ladder, or whatever it's called, and like check on it. But like, I haven't in a while. I feel like just because of how good the Suns are playing, I've got to have Chris Paul up there, man. Like that dude is just like, he's just a leader. Like, and I know like his stats aren't there, but it's like, I don't know. Like, it's just like him or I can't say Steph. Steph's had a bad little
ace fell off. Spurt. I mean, I feel like right now it has to be Joel.
Yeah, he's up there. DeMar, is he up there?
I think DeMar has to be like top 3. I would say for me, it'd probably be Joel, Giannis, and DeMar. I feel like that has to be the top 3 because you think about
I can't argue that.
The fluctuation that's happened with the Bulls from getting hit with COVID, injuries with like their with their guards and everything, and DeMar they're a half game behind Miami for first place in the East.
Yeah, and then Joel's putting up monster numbers. So
Joel is going fucking ham, bro. And even Giannis, I mean, shit, he had a 51 point game the other night.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think
dude
he'll
is,
win it because of like the voter fatigue thing. Like, I don't think he'll win it again.
yeah. I
But
mean, and then did you see Luca had like a 50 point triple double the other day?
Luca's my favorite player to watch, bro. Like, I just love,
Dude is dude is
you
nice,
know,
and it's just you're like, how? First of all, he a big boy. He need to he. I look, he 230. He need to get down to about like 215,
yeah,
bro, or
bro.
maybe 220. That's a big dude.
He's like Shaq with it, man. It doesn't seem like he's really like he's just naturally so much better than everyone. But he's just like, I don't think he's like Kobe mentality in the gym every day
No,
eating great.
or
You
his
know, like
nutrition or any of that, because
nah.
that's a big boy. Like he got a double chin, and he
He's
22.
yamming on people. Have you seen him recently? Like he's like throwing dunks down. I'm like, holy shit, dude. Where do you get this athleticism from, bro? Like it's nuts. If he could improve his 3-point efficiency, obviously, yeah, that's a more of an intangible, but like, get your weight down and like, get healthy. But his defense and like his 3-point,
So
efficiency need to
who
be
like who
improved.
do
But
they as the Dallas Mavericks? Who do they go get? Because Porzingis is gone.
yeah, who did they grab for him? Wasn't it Bertans or something like that?
They was it Bertans? I think it may have been Bertans. Yeah, yeah.
Not a
And
bad
Spencer
choice.
Dinwiddie.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
nice. I think
It is a good
Dinwiddie can
backup
be,
point guard.
yeah,
Good backup point guard.
yeah,
Um yeah, I mean they just need a solid big guy. They just need a secondary option, and they don't have it's all Luca or bust right now.
yeah.
But it's like who do you go get?
Or a good three. But the good like small forwards in our league like are rare. Like there's like a handful and they're elite, and then the rest of them are like average. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it. Like Bron, KD, Giannis is not really three, but like those type of dudes that like can play the wing and are just like huge and
Yeah.
dominate. And then there's like a steep drop off. I feel like after that.
Well, I don't know if it's a steep drop off because I mean you still got like Paul George, but there's just an injury thing.
Hmm.
Kawhi again, but it's an injury thing. You got Jimmy
Right.
Butler. Um, you got Middleton.
Yeah.
So you got guys. There's just I think you have those individuals that are just at an elite level, and then you have people that's kind of more of at an all-star level. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know. It is interesting. So are you surprised the fact that the Pistons did not trade Jeremy Grant?
No, I mean, like, I think it could have been a good move because he was kind of like eating up. I don't know. Like, it's just kind of the Jeremy Grant show sometimes, and it's like we need to develop these young players. Like I wouldn't have argued with the trade, but if they can make him like a piece player, I think he'd be really good. I mean, he's a solid player. I think the Bagley trade was awesome. I think he needed
I
a
think
fresh
that could,
start, and
yeah,
if he builds and gets better. I like what we're doing, man. I like the young talent. Like there's potential here. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah.
don't think it's
We just need a
championship
point
level.
guard.
Yeah. What do you
We
think
need a
Cade
point
should be
guard.
like 2 or 3?
I'm fine with Cade at the 2 or the 3. I mean, he kind of spits as a point guard, but we need more of like a true point guard. Killian Hayes is not it. Can you think about the fact that we drafted Killian Hayes instead of who was it? Who was in that draft? We
I
passed
don't
up.
know.
Hold on, let me pull this up. I gotta pull this up, bro. What was that? Like the 2019 draft
Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
versus 2020 draft? Let me see.
Around pick
But
number 7 in 2020.
you said it was 2020.
2020.
Okay, I have to pull this up because we literally passed up on
Yeah, probably a fuck ton of good players.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
Dude was averaging like 20,
Mm-hmm.
and we got a dude that averaging 6.
That's a Pistons move for us right there, man.
Like we just find ways.
In the draft
Just
specifically, we're just not
right
good.
in the draft, or we even passed up on like Cole Anthony,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Killian Hayes was not it.
Tyrese Maxey, Emmanuel Quigley, Desmond Bain. Like,
Your face.
I'm just looking at these names like we suck at fucking picking.
Yeah, we're not
dog.
good at drafting, bro. Do
We're
you like
not-
Sadiq Bey?
I do like Sadiq.
I like
I
him.
think he can be a really good piece. So I'm not mad about that. Or like you think about it a couple years ago where we picked up fucking Luke Kennard over fucking Donovan Mitchell. No, it wasn't even Donovan. Wasn't it Booker?
Yeah, maybe both. I think it was both.
I'm like, bro, what the fuck are we doing?
And what's funny about that, same as the Reggie Jackson thing, they went to the Clippers afterwards and were like, out of Detroit, let's start fucking balling. Do you remember that? It was last postseason or the one before it? They just started like
when fucking Reggie was out here shooting like he was fucking like he was averaging like almost damn near 50% from the 3-point line in the playoffs last year, bro.
Yeah. Where is he now? Is he still in the Clippers?
He's still in the Clippers, bro. I mean, he's been having a nice season. So you have to give a shout out to Ty Lue for the fact that they don't have nor Kawhi or Paul George, and he still has them in playing playoff contention. Is fucking I don't understand.
Yeah,
I don't understand. Man. Or don't understand. So there's one more thing I got to talk to you about. So have you been watching the Winter Olympics?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Have you heard about the Russian figure skater?
Is it the drugs she got caught?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to know what your thoughts is around that, and then the whole with Sha'Carri Richardson bringing up.
Yeah, I've been saying this for a while, man. Like everyone grows up watching the Olympics, and it's true. But like, I think we all need to come to the conclusion, like, it is a corrupt fucking organization. Like, if you ever watch the documentary, like Icarus too, that like goes into like the Olympics is like a dirty, greasy fucking. I just don't. I respect Olympians and those that win it. Like, that's greatness. But like the Olympic Games themselves are just, it's fucking corrupt and it's bullshit, bro. Like, that is such, that's bullshit. Absolutely ridiculous that Sha'Carri Richardson could not run, and like then this person tests negative and it doesn't matter. Like, that's, or positive, excuse me. Like this.
Yeah. And the thing was, and this is what Sha'Carri Richardson's point was, is that she tested positive for something that wasn't a PED.
Yeah.
This individual tested positive for a PED and still got to compete.
Yep. It doesn't make any bit of sense. Like, not a shred.
Yeah.
But what's her name? Biles, like, couldn't because she was on Adderall and they wouldn't let her take it. And it's like, so she dropped out. Little different because Adderall is like a stimulant, but it's like, I don't who remember. Cares?
Yeah. Like, I think it was just really, really crazy that there's these, but I think what also kind of fall into it was that the US has a higher standard than like the Russian Olympic Committee does, right? And I think that's where we kind of ran into a lot of this issue, is that the Russian Olympic Committee probably don't really give a fuck.
No, they don't.
Right? Where the US is like, no, we're not tied that. So I think just as the International Olympic Committee, congregates on this, it needs to be a set standard across the board. There is no, oh, well, this is how the Russian Olympic Committee handles it, or this is how the US Olympic Committee or the Chinese delegation handles it. Like, it needs to be a consistent thing. Like, if you don't handle it like this, the players they're not going to be able to compete. Yeah.
I didn't realize that. So it's like right now, is it like the German committee is like running all of it right now? Or
I don't know who's running it.
Like, I feel like it should be a panel of like every,
that's I believe that's how it's done with the International Olympic Committee, where the IOC, where they have individuals from different countries. But I think each country has its own set of standards.
Okay.
That kind of add to the Olympic Committee standard.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's dirty, bro. I feel really bad for Sha'Carri. Like, I would be beside myself. Like, what the hell? That's like just the hypocrisy of it,
Yeah, it was kind of messed up. So,
hey, I'm excited to go to Dallas, man. That'll be fucking. That's gonna be fun.
In that thing.
That'll be fucking sweet. We're gonna have to look at some like places around. I never been to Fort Worth, Dallas.
So we're going to Deep Ellum.
Okay,
I'm gonna tell you that now.
What's that?
We're going to Deep Ellum. It's just it is like Dallas's version of like being downtown. Being downtown Detroit. So it's their version. It's a bunch of like,
you bringing
restaurants
boots?
And
you about
bars.
To be cowboy Mo?
Listen, you will never find me in a pair of cowboy boots. That's just not my thing.
Okay, I'll be in boots.
Oh Jesus!
Not like big cowboy boots, but
oh Lord, just don't start going crazy when they play "Lose Yourself," and then we're good.
No. I want some like Texas music, man. I'm not down there for rap. Yeah, that'd be cool. So Spence versus Ugas. That'll be
it's gonna be fire.
That'll
definitely
be nice,
gonna be fire. And we gotta say to everybody that's been watching, like, thank you for all the support that y'all have been giving us.
For sure, man.
all the views.
The
If
few, the
there's things that
crowd.
y'all want us to talk about or discuss, let us
Definitely,
know.
man.
Continue to show support, like us,
Yep. Subscribe.
subscribe,
Instagram and YouTube, and then like any podcasting platform.
share
So
it to some people.